Have you ever imagined boarding a plane and realizing that everything you thought you knew about flying is now outdated? That the experience of traveling through the skies will never be the same? Not because of small improvements, but because of a complete revolution? That future is closer than you think. Today, I'm going to tell you about the plane that promises to change travel forever. A project that combines cutting-edge technology, unimaginable comfort, and a vision of the future that feels like it came straight out of science fiction. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover is not just about a plane. It's about the future of human mobility. To begin, let's take a step back. Since the Wright brothers first flew in 1903, aviation has never stopped evolving. We saw stronger engines, pressurized cabins, jet aircraft, the iconic Concorde breaking the sound barrier, and even the giant Airbus A380s that turned mass travel into something more comfortable. But now we're facing an even greater leap forward. This is not just about a faster or bigger airplane, it's a complete redefinition of how we understand air travel. This new concept is being called the plane of the future, and the names behind it include giants like Airbus, Boeing, ambitious startups, and disruptive tech companies. One of the most talked about is Airbus's Zero project, set to be the first commercial aircraft powered by hydrogen. Imagine flying without the plane emitting harmful gases. Instead of smoke, the only output would be water vapor. If this succeeds, aviation will no longer be one of the villains of climate change, but rather a showcase for clean transportation. But the environmental aspect is only part of the story. Speed, comfort, and accessibility are also on the table. Many companies are betting on the return of supersonic aircraft, but this time, more efficient and more practical. The Concorde, which once flew from London to New York in under 4 hours, was retired in 2003 mainly because of high costs and fuel consumption. Now, new projects like Boom Supersonic's Overture promise to fly even faster, with technology that reduces the noise of the sonic boom and engines that are far more efficient. That could mean crossing the Atlantic in just 3 hours, making huge distances feel almost trivial. And if you think this is only about flying faster, think again. These new planes are being designed to create an entirely different passenger experience. Goodbye cramped seats and tiny screens. The future points to cabins with augmented reality, panoramic windows that show not only the sky but real-time flight information, seats that transform into true beds, and entertainment systems as advanced as modern gaming consoles. Imagine boarding a plane where the ceiling is transparent, letting you see the stars as you fly at night. That's not distant imagination. There are prototypes already being developed to make it possible. Another impressive detail is how much quieter these planes could be. Hybrid electric engines, along with new aerodynamic shapes, promise to drastically reduce the noise that annoys passengers during takeoff and landing. This won't just change the flying experience, it could change the lives of people living near airports who today endure constant noise. But it doesn't stop there. Have you heard of autonomous aircraft? The same concept being developed for cars is already making its way into aviation. While the idea of flying without pilots still scares people, the truth is that most of today's flights are already largely controlled by automatic systems. The natural evolution is nearly autonomous planes, with pilots playing more of a monitoring role than actively flying. Experts believe it's only a matter of time before we see the first commercial routes operated with minimal human intervention. And then there's the economic side. With new technology, operating costs could drop significantly. Lighter aircraft, powered by alternative fuels and smarter systems, could mean cheaper tickets. Imagine paying for a flight from São Paulo to Paris the same as you pay today for a domestic trip. It sounds impossible, but that's the promise of some projects, aiming to democratize international travel even more. Of course, all of this will have a massive impact on society. If flying is already common today, imagine when we can cross continents in just a few hours, without polluting and with affordable prices. This will change the way we work, study, and connect. People could live in one country and work in another. Families that once met once a year could see each other much more often. The planet will suddenly feel much smaller. And that's what makes this so fascinating. The plane that will change travel forever is not just a machine. It is a symbol of how humanity is ready to take the next step in global connection. Just as the Concorde once showed in the 70s that we could break the sound barrier, now we're about to prove that we can fly sustainably, more efficiently, and in much greater comfort. Some experts even believe this will be the last major step before commercial space travel. After all, if we can cross oceans in 3 hours, why not imagine that in a few decades we could travel from one side of the planet to the other in less than an hour using suborbital routes? Companies like SpaceX are already testing concepts for intercontinental rocket flights. In other words, the plane of the future could be the bridge between aviation as we know it and the space travel of tomorrow. The question, of course, is when. The answer? It's already happening. Airbus' AES-0 project is aiming for 2035. Boom supersonic plans to launch commercial flights before the end of this decade. Startups across Europe, the United States, and Asia are racing to bring their prototypes to market. In Dubai, futuristic concepts are already being sold as exclusive experiences for millionaires. The future isn't a distant dream. It's just around the corner. Think about it. Every time aviation evolved, the world changed with it. When commercial flights became common, international tourism exploded. When the Concorde arrived, it proved time itself could be conquered. When the Airbus A380 launched, it brought the idea of hotels in the sky. This new aircraft, combining sustainability, speed, comfort, and technology, will once again change everything. The question isn't if it will happen, but when you'll have the chance to board one. And here's a question for you. If you had the chance to be one of the first passengers on this revolutionary plane, would you take the risk and fly, even knowing it's brand new and experimental? Or would you rather wait until it had years of proven operation? That dilemma shows how aviation always sparks in us both fascination and fear. What we can say with certainty is that we're about to enter a new era. In a few decades, looking back at today's planes will feel like remembering horse-drawn carriages. The world will change, travel will change, and it will all be because engineers, scientists, and dreamers decided it was time to reinvent the sky. So now I want to hear from you. Which part of this future excites you the most? Are you more impressed by the idea of flying without polluting, crossing the world in just hours, or experiencing futuristic cabins with augmented reality and panoramic views? Leave your thoughts in the comments, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. Because the plane that will change travel forever is already being built. And here, you'll discover every step of this revolution.